Hi everyone. I'm wanting to share more of my journey with you. I'm especially making this video for those who are young adults needing hip replacement surgery and are really feeling grief, sadness, feeling down about it, and are just overall struggling. I also think that people with personal struggles may gain strength by hearing some of what I've got to say in this video. I lost the use of my left hip joint in October 2006. It wasn't just sudden. I'd been having bad days occasionally, once a month, twice a month, every few days, but I hadn't anticipated this happening because of the disease that I had when I was a child, and realizing that it's not new, it's not how it was when I was born. And so I accepted the odd bad day. So when I suddenly lost the use of my hip, it turned my world upside down because I had to learn how to live all over again. And I also had to deal with the immediate implications on my finances and my ability to maintain living in a house and trying to get health care treatment during all this. It became a very intense, about 8 months. Some of you may be facing the need for a hip to be replaced because of a side effect of other treatment, like maybe a steroid use that was needed for your health, but it was hard on your joints. There's different scenarios that can play out that it's sudden, and you wouldn't have the warnings that my body was trying to give me. So we may come from different backgrounds, but the end result's the same. At the time, I was 31 years old and facing the loss of the use of my hip and trying to sort out what's going on with my life and how to move forward. And if I'm going to be honest with you, one of the keys that helped me initially was a group that was an email list where we shared what was going on and we had support for one another because everyone was dealing with the same thing. It helped me a lot to have someone to talk to. Now I realize this isn't for everyone, and when I initially thought about joining a group like this, one of my friends that I trusted said to me, it's not for everybody, so you need to think if you'd like it or not. What you might consider is joining, but just listening for a bit and seeing if it's people that you can relate to before you start sharing your own journey. And you could do it in little bits at a time, the same as we build relationships with each other, be able to share a little bit so it's natural. I know there's some tendency on the internet to just share everything because it's technically a computer that's in front of you. What you need to remember is that there's real people at the other side of the screen. And I tend to conduct myself online the same as I would in person, in gradually introducing myself, not just everything in one night. that's one way, and it helped me a lot. I also had support from some friends and some church pastors, and the church counselor helped me. But what the church counselor did was kind of gave me homework to work through what he thought with his general knowledge of the healthcare community, so that the system would form around me that was needed to get to the result of realizing that I needed specialized hip surgery. So that's another route that you could go. As the journey gains momentum, you end up building a different skill set that is practical for day-to-day life. So as that skill set grows, you find it easier to cope. So what may have been overwhelming at the start, it's starting to become easier to deal with each day. It doesn't take all the stress away, but there's a foundation that you're building, and it's coming for you a bit at a time. As this continues to progress, I noticed a shift in my peer group in real life. So that's the people that live here in this city in Ontario, Canada. It affected who I was interacting with in my day-to-day life because of the change in lifestyle. So part of what would be on you is to maintain relationships in the community where you live so that you can have the interaction one-on-one. And it's important that you have that interaction one-on-one. I understand that the pain and the lack of mobility means that a bunch of things aren't practical to go out and do. There's still the option for someone to take you out for a van ride just to enjoy the countryside and get out. I mean, you could even go to a big box store that has powered shopping carts that you sit in. That's basically a wheelchair. It would get you out around people, and it's really important that you do that. Even going to a soup kitchen or some of the free programs churches offer could help you so that you're being around people and your emotional stability is there, and it's helping you through this as you process what's going on with yourself. Part of it that helps you deal with your own issues is relationship with your fellow man or your fellow woman that you relate to, and even if it's over a tea, that you just got out for the day, and it kind of makes you feel better that you did something. It doesn't have to be a bad experience that your hip's worn out. A different way of thinking about it could be that it served you while it could. It's reached the end of its ability to help you. It's time to try something new. And thinking about it like this did indeed help me during that transition. This isn't to say that I didn't need some quiet time while going through all this. This isn't to say that it was suddenly less stressful, but the journey was going from where the unknown was this much, and it was just gradually going down to where you're kind of into the uncertainty that you deal with in day-to-day life anyways. Maybe it's going to rain today. What does rain mean to my plans? It's the same thing with your hip. Something little may happen, and all you're doing is focusing on that little thing instead of trying to manage, the whole thing. I don't have all the answers for you. I wanted to share with you that if you're struggling, I do get it. And more than that, there's hope in having a new hip put in your body. Obviously, if you saw the start of this video, you'll see that I'm in a wheelchair. There's more steps that I've had to go through than other people have had to endure. But just that you're here and you can enjoy life, and I do genuinely mean this, it can happen even in the midst of adversity. Your strength of character can grow, and through being vulnerable, you can build a deeper well of self-confidence and self-esteem to draw on that genuinely will serve you well later in life. If you can come over the obstacle of hip replacement surgery that's this big, dealing with a life problem that's kind of this size is a lot easier, where others who haven't had to deal with the hip replacement surgery problem that's this big will find this a lot more challenging than what you would face. It's part of putting into perspective what this means, and as a catalyst, what it will mean as you've gone through this journey. So I want you to know that there's hope. I understand that the pain's real, both of the emotional distress and the joint pain that people go through with a deteriorated hip. If you're honest with your doctor can help you with whatever you're expressing so that the right supports are there to help you along with a group of friends. I know our healthcare system isn't perfect, but it's something, and what I find once the ball starts, as long as you speak up and say I need help when it's justified, the journey will work for you. Thanks for spending this time with me today. I do genuinely appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.